Hi everyone, and welcome to your video for this week, October 9th. I am not able to be live with you guys tonight. Actually, I'm not going to be able to be live with you guys for the next 2 Thursdays, and I'm going to apologize. I'll explain so first of all, I think I mentioned that I was going to be going to my nephew's football game, but that's not going to be till next Thursday. We ended up finding out that there's a 4-H recognition banquet that we have to go to tomorrow because Claire's going to be getting some awards and things. And so I don't want to miss those opportunities. And so we are postponing the football game until next Thursday to attend the 4-H banquet for her to get some awards tomorrow night. So I'm going to be doing pre-recorded videos with you guys for the next couple of weeks. And I apologize, but I know you all understand family first, and we can't miss those kinds of events that come around and we have to do them while they're there. So tonight I'm going to be sharing with you all, though, my BB monthly club kit for this month, I do believe, the month of October. There is still time to sign up for this amazing kit. What I'm going to be showing you is the Traditions of Christmas bundle, and the designer series paper is currently not available, and I apologize for that. When I plan my videos, I don't know what's available, what's not available. However, if you like these cards, your opportunity to get the class is going to be available, because you can then get the supplies to make all of these cards. 4 of them, you'll make 2 of each one. So there is still an opportunity for you to be able to have some beautiful cards using this gorgeous paper. I'm not surprised it's not available. Now, this is what I consider a mega suite, where it includes 2 stamp sets and 2 sets of dies. So the first one I'm going to be sharing with you is the Christmas greenery. And the neat thing is that these images right here coincide with some of the images in the designer series paper. So you could stamp them, or you can use the dies and cut out the shapes from the designer series paper, and I'll show you that here in just a couple of minutes. So Christmas greenery, this one does not have any sentiments. The other bundle has all of your sentiments in it. Now, because we have been prepping and preparing for my BB monthly club kit, you're going to see that these have been very well used and very well loved. But these dies right here do cut out these stamped images from the stamp set, and then also there is some of this from in the designer series paper that would also be able to be cut out. You also have some leaves and some greenery and things right here that you could also cut out, and you're going to see here tonight how I used those as well. So this is the Christmas greenery bundle. The second one is called the Traditional Labels Bundle, and I really like this one because it gives you, first of all, a lot of sentiments. Let me bring that one in. And then it also gives you lots of different shapes for being able to cut out to stamp your sentiments in. So you have lots of different sentiments, all for Christmas. You do have a little to and from here if you wanted to make some Christmas tags just for you. That's always a good one there as well. So these are the dies that coordinate with the traditional labels, and you're going to see here we've been using a bunch of them. And I really, really like, the favorite one that we like is this one, and I'll show you here in just a minute why. But all of these labels will cut out the different sentiments. You can see here that we haven't probably used those 3. But this one right here does cut out and works perfectly on the sending love and joy right there. It works perfect on the season's greetings right here. So it's been kind of one of our favorites that we have really, really used a ton. And then here's some other ones that we have used. You're going to see here me using these tonight on these cards and projects as well. Now, with your BB monthly club kit, you do get product to be able to use on all of your cards as well. And so you will be getting, let me show you the product. Now, this product is also part of this amazing suite, okay? So you're going to be getting some of this gorgeous ribbon. This ribbon is real red, and it is the, it's a 1/2 inch, kind of like a linen ribbon. Very, very pretty, very easy to use and work with. And then you'll also be getting some of these sequins. These sequins, I think they're called the Traditional Sparkling Sequins. They are one of my go-to for so many Christmas projects because of the value here. The cost of this is $8, and look at how many sequins you get. You can see here we've used quite a few of them, but you also, what I like about them is they're very flat, so it makes it very easy to embellish your cards and your projects and still be able to send them in the mail without any extra postage or anything like that, okay? So that is that project. Now let me show you a product. Let me show you the designer series paper, okay? Because this is where it is, I think this suite seals the deal. So we have on one side of here, you have some plaid paper. We've used that actually on one of my classes using the Festive Friends. We made a cute card with that. On the back of it, you have this piece right here, which is absolutely gorgeous. And then we have this one right here. And then on the back of that one is this one. So here's where you can kind of, you'll see I did a card non-traditional where I included some pink. And I love that designer series paper right there. And then we have this one right here with this on the back. And this is where that die, you can cut out some of these pieces. So you can cut out this right here. And this right here, those are all pieces, excuse me, I have the hiccups, that you can punch out with that die, which makes it really, really nice. Okay, we have this one right here. And on the back side, we have this. And this is the other one where you can punch out all of those with the other die. So let me bring in the stamp set again so you can kind of see this and visualize it. I'm not going to pull the dies out again. But remember I showed you the dies cut out these two pieces? Well, this right here, that die will cut out that. And then here is the die. You can see the stamp right here coordinates with this one right here. So those dies cut that out from the designer series paper, which makes it so, so nice. Okay, I've got to see where I left off with my paper. That might be the main ones that I have here to show you. So I think this is just a sampling of them because we have been using it just a ton. So I don't think I have any other ones. Oh, wait, I do. I lied. Here's the last one. So, and this uses the Secret C, and then this is on the back side. So the same thing where you can coordinate this. Now there's not there is not a die for this, but again, you're going to see how I used it in a creative way on one of my cards here tonight. Okay, so this is the beautiful Traditions of Christmas designer series paper. It is currently unavailable. It is scheduled to come back though, so don't fear or give up on it. But if you want Christmas cards right away that you can use to design with this, please feel free to reach out and we can hook you up with one of these awesome kits. BB Club members, you are all set already. All right, so the first card that I'm going to be sharing with you guys tonight, and I should also mention that Claire's trip to go see Natalie was very successful. Everything went wonderful. She made it out there safe and sound, great trip. Was crazy busy from sunup till sundown. Made it back on Monday and had yesterday off from her classes for fall break and is now back to classes today. So anyway, but it was a really good trip for them and I'm so glad they got to spend a little bit of time together. So that was kind of fun. All right, so this is the card we're going to be using. You can see here, or making first, you can see here I cut this out with the designer series paper and that die that I showed you. So for this card, I chose to use real red for my card base. And I'm just going to fold this in half. And then I am going to adhere down a piece of the old olive. Now, one thing I didn't bring here tonight is the embossing folder that goes with this bundle. But there's a 3D embossing folder, a wreath embossing folder. And it actually is too big to do this whole card front here, but you can see I used it to really go around the outer edges because I'm going to cover up the middle here anyway. So we're going to go ahead and adhere this down to my card base. So this is the 5 1/4 by 4 old olive. And then I have a 4x3 piece of designer series paper. For this, I chose to use the more solid one, and that is going on a 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 pool party. Okay, so yes, I'm going to cover up this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful paper, but you will see me using that here in just a little bit on a different card. Maybe I got that too crooked and I don't like it either. So let me Let me adjust this a little bit because I don't like that. Okay. Here we go. Much better. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and adhere this down to my card as well. So right there in the middle. This is that one that I showed you that we really enjoy using, the Season's Greetings, and that die cut that I showed you we used a ton. I mean, we've used it a lot. So this is just a simple card I literally put on, and all of these are going to be different because you have the different pieces in the designer series paper. You can use them all. And I'm just going to add some dimensionals to this card and put that up here near the top. Okay, so just like that. And then my Season's Greetings went down here on the bottom, and this also is going to go on with some dimensionals. From there, you can embellish this card however you would like to with those awesome sequins. Okay, so we're just going to put this down here like that. And then I'm going to bring in those sequins, and you can use any of the colors that you would like to on here. For this card, I chose to use some of the gold. That paper has some of the awesome gold foil in it. So I'm just going to add a few of these down here. I think I added 3 of all the different sizes. And there you have card number 1. Isn't that gorgeous? I think it's absolutely stunning. Okay. The next card that we are going to work on together is this one right here. And you're going to see, again, I'm trying to use and showcase all of the different things. And this is just one of the little pieces of the flowers that I cut out from the designer series paper. Here you can see I used those leaves, and I did sponge around those leaves. Now, I'm not going to sponge around mine tonight because I didn't bring a sponge or the ink over, but I do like the little look that that gave by sponging around the edges of that. So for this card, I chose to use the Secret C for the card base. Okay, so Secret C for my card base. And I'm just going to fold this in half. And then we're going to do some layering, lots of layering on this. I'm going to move this out of the way because we're going to do the layering on the basic white. Again, I used that embossing folder to kind of get the little look around the outer edge. And then I have a piece of designer series paper, and I don't even know the measurement, but here's the thing. You get the club kit, you get a tutorial with all the measurements for you to be able to duplicate these cards for yourself later, okay, when you're able to get more paper. All right, so I'm just going to adhere this down together. I love how that kind of paired so nicely with the Secret C. Now you want to be kind of careful of where I place the ribbon. Can you see that I put the ribbon on here before I added this? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere this one down to my card, okay? So this is going to get adhered down like this. So I did a little bit of a different thing on this one. I then added my ribbon to this and then added the rest of the top layer. So I'm just going to take my ribbon and I'm going to cut it about the size or the width of my card here to go around this. And just going to add a little bit of adhesive here so that this can then get adhered down to my card, okay, like that. And now I'm going to actually adhere this down to the card base. I always like to do that if I have a little bit of stickiness and adhesive because I don't want to chance ruining my backdrop here. So I'm going to adhere this down. But now we're going to then keep going and building this up. So what we're going to do is we're going to then add the rest of this. You can see I have another piece of basic white onto the summer or the Secret C, and that's just going to get adhered onto here like that. There's where my little tie-on is going to go, and then we're going to add those little embellishments up at the top, the leaves and the little flower. Okay, so I'm just going to adhere those two together, and then we are going to adhere this down like this. So again, you have a little bit of an overlap of everything here. There's where we're going to do the little tie-on with our ribbon here. So we are going to just cut a little piece, and I'm going to put it underneath here like this. And then we're just going to tie this around, kind of like the beginning of tying your shoe, I like to say. And going to tie this on. And then we're just going to cut this at a little bit of an angle here, okay? And then, you guessed it, we are going to add our cute little flower and the 2 little poinsettia leaves that I did with my green. I am going to use some mini dimensionals because I don't want the dimensional to show between the little slit right there. So I'm going to just use a couple of mini dimensionals to put this on because it'll just make it a little bit easier for me to be able to not have that show up between there. So we're just going to add one of these up at the top like this. And then we're going to add the other one on there, kind of like that. And then we're just going to add the cute little leaf or the little flower on there like that. And this I also put on with a dimensional. Oh no, this I think I just adhered on. So we're just going to adhere this on to that, just like that. Okay, the final step, you guessed it, we are going to embellish these cards. I'm going to use, in this case, I'm going to use some of the sequins that are red. Oh my gosh, that one went flying. Did you guys see that? You'll have to watch that over again. That one went flying. I don't even know where it went. Just picked it up and it went kapoosh and flew over. All right, and I'm going to do the same thing, adding the 3 on all 3 of the sizes. And there we have our card number 2. Cute and simple and easy. Okay, card number 3 uses more of the dies, so you're going to see me using the dies a little bit more on this one. Oh, I don't know if I have that one. Let me skip that one for right now. I don't think I have my sample here of this one. Okay, so we're going to skip that one. I'm going to find it. I think it's on the bottom of the pile. Okay, so we are going to go to this one right here. So on this card, we are going, this is the one that I mentioned to you that I made that is kind of like non-traditional. And I love it, you guys. I love that it is pink and pretty and all that fun stuff. So anyway, so this is where I use the die to cut out the flower element here, so to speak, okay? So I cut that out using the dies, and because there's pink in here, I incorporated in the pretty in pink. Love this card a lot. So, and I think I figured out my mystery, you guys. The extra card is actually not part of this class. It was part of a different thing and I stuck it in the wrong bin. So you're still going to get 4 cards. My BB Club is 4 cards. So you're going to be seeing the 4 cards that you'll be getting in your kit. So any of you that are part of this, I hope that you are enjoying your sneak peek. All right, so this is on Old Olive. This is the 5 by 3 3/4. I cut it a little bit smaller so that you'd see more of the Old Olive. And we're just going to go ahead and adhere this onto my card base here. So I'm just adding some adhesive here and going to center it on there. And then I have this piece of Designer Series paper. I use the Old Olive. This is cut actually I think it's 1.5 by probably 4 1/4, I would guess. Okay, and we're just going to adhere this onto the card here like that, just to break this up a little bit and give it a little bit more. You can see more of the flower then. And the neat thing is this one right here, you're getting a taste of the pink flower, the pink poinsettia. Here on this one, it's going to be the red poinsettia with these little flowers pink. Pink. So you see how you get different variation because there's so many different patterns to the paper. So each card might look a little bit different, which makes it really, really nice. So I will tell you that what we did is when we cut these, you will get 2 of them, but you'll get whatever's in your kit, right? Because we made sure we used all of the Designer Series paper without any of it going to waste to be able to do our kits for our class. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and adhere this down up here like that. You can see my little ribbon that I added in there, so we're just going to cut a little piece of ribbon here. And all I did for this is, I need to cut the other side at an angle too. And then we're just going to add a little glue dot in there. Actually, I just kind of folded it over like this. So you can put a glue dot in there, or you can just, glue it underneath here and it will stick because it's got that to hold it down. But I like to put a glue dot on there just to make sure that it's going to stick and I don't have to worry about it coming apart. So I'm just going to put a glue dot in the middle here, and then we're just going to fold this over at an angle, not on top of each other, at a little bit of an angle like this. And we're just going to push that down. And then we're going to get another glue dot to put on the back of this one, okay? And this is just going to stick underneath here like this. So you want to make sure you get it underneath there good before you stick it down. And voila! This is one of the label dies, okay? So this is one of the label dies that we showed you earlier. And this is, I then stamped the Merry and Bright using the Real Red, okay? So Real Red. And that's just going to get adhered down here at the bottom using some dimensionals. So I'm just going to add a couple of dimensionals here. And my cat is going crazy, you guys, while I'm doing this video. He's running around like a crazy little man. All right. And then we are going to add some of the embellishments on here. So this one I chose to use some of the gold ones. So I'm just going to add one here. And here's some more big ones. And I'm going to add one here. And you could add a couple more on there if you wanted to. I just added them to the two little areas there. And voila! We have another card done. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this stuff, you guys. It's so easy to work with. All right, my final project here for you tonight is the one where I mentioned to you how I showcased the designer series paper that really didn't have a die, but you can still create so many fun things with it. So for this one, I chose to use the Pool Party to bring in Pool Party. So Pool Party is my card base, and then I have a layer of Pretty in Pink that is 5 by 3 3/4. So I'm going to adhere this down to my card as well. Oops, and I don't have designer series paper, so we're going to pretend that I do. So here I cut 2 pieces of designer series paper that was 2 and probably 3.5 by 2 and 2 1/4, and I glued them to the top and bottom. So you guys are just going to pretend that that's there, okay? And then this would go across the middle, and then this is just the designer series paper that I cut and put behind it Old Olive, and that just goes up here, kind of up here on the top area. And then the final thing I did was Tis the Season. So Tis the Season on this one, and on a 1/2 inch strip. Oops, and I cut it didn't like that cut, not straight. And that's just going to go on the bottom with dimensionals. So again, missing the designer series paper on that, but you get the idea of how that card would go together and how you can use that paper to really kind of just make it pop on its own without having to do any kind of fussy cutting or anything like that. So let me bring in all of my cards here for you guys tonight so that you can see them again. Now again, this is my BB Monthly Club Kit for the month of October. So you would get all the supplies to make all 4 of these cards. You'd actually make 2 of each one. And it includes envelopes. It includes product. The product that you'd be getting is some of these awesome sequins and some of this beautiful, beautiful Real Red ribbon. Excuse me, that you'd be able to use on your projects. So I hope that you've enjoyed watching me tonight. Now I know I did not do any kind of a sharing. It's hard to do a sharing thing when I do a pre-recorded video and post it to YouTube. So we'll definitely be making up for that here in a couple weeks. I also wanted to make you all aware of the amazing Join promotion that's still going on the month of October. So make sure you check that out. If you have any questions, I think all of you should take advantage of that. It's a great deal. And then the final thing I wanted to mention to you is that I will be having my 15-year Stampin' Up! Anniversary in November. I will be with the company for 15 years, and I'll be offering some kind of an ordering promotion and incentive for all of you during that time as a thank you for supporting me for the last 15 years and hoping that I have at least 15 more. All right, thank you all so very much. Have a great evening, and I will be definitely having a video to share with you again next week, and I'll be back with you guys soon, I promise. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.